Hey guys, sorry again for not doing a video recently. Like I says, I've been really busy with work and with my racing schedule. This right now we're just really busy with racing different stuff, and so it's been a little bit crazy. But I wanted to get a new mini Z video up, showing the changes that I've done on the cars and stuff like that. So the first one up is my box stock car. I know there's some interest being showed towards the mini Z's. I know a couple of guys have texted me, messaged me about stuff, and keep the questions coming if you have questions about them, and I'll answer them as best I can. So anyway, I'll start with this one again because I've made some changes to this one again. So this is my box stock car. And guys, I want to say this up front. If you're gonna run mini Z's at your local track, please check with them to make sure that you're doing stuff to your car that fits within their rules. Otherwise, you're going to end up ordering a bunch of parts and stuff like that you're not even going to be able to run on the car because they won't allow them in the certain classes. So this is my box stock car now, and as you can see, I'm still running the factory diff in the back. I have gone to the PN Delrin gears. Our track, the max gear you can run is the 9-tooth because that's the biggest that comes in the box. So it's the factory diff, and then you can use the 9-tooth pinion from PN Racing. One of the changes I have made to it recently is I went to a 70-turn PN motor because that's allowed in our class. So you can either run the box stock motor or you can run the 70-turn PN motor. The 70-turn PN motor is a little bit faster and the car performs better. Disc dampeners are allowed, so I made that change. And then the other thing really the only other major change that you can do to the car is I went to the PN front knuckles, and I'm hoping you guys can see them. They're the orange parts on the front end, and what they are is it's an aluminum knuckle that goes on there that you can adjust your ride height on, and it just makes the front end a little bit smoother. So that's the only real changes you can make to the car for where I run local. Like I says, check with your local track because they may have a different set of rules. And then tires and wheels are open for us. So I like to run the 3mm offset tires, or the 3mm offset wheels. And then I'm on this car, I'm running, the brand is Gecko for the tires. A lot of guys are running PN front tires and marker rear tires because they can't find a good combination with one manufacturer, so they're going to different manufacturers for the different tires. Gecko just happens to make the tires that I like to run, so I'm running a medium front slick tire, and I'm running a super soft radial rear tire, and it just seems to work really well on our track. So that's about it for the box stock. There's really not a lot you can do with them. It's a class that's really fun for us to run because it uses more driver ability than doing hop-ups on the car to make them faster. So I'm gonna move this one off to the side. Oh, I guess I should say too, on both cars, I'm gonna bring a second one out. I just got another one finished. So on both cars, I run the same body, the Jomurema GT01 body, because it fits all the tires and wheel combinations, and it has some characteristics that I like about it. The car runs very, very stable, and it's very consistent with this body compared to, with the Kyosho bodies. The different bodies, they have different handling characteristics, and when you're racing, you want the car to handle consistently so you can as you drive it, you get faster and smoother with it. So that's why I run the Jomurema bodies. So anyway, that's my box stock. And then I just got this one finished. Now this is a little bit of a different setup here. Okay, this is a brushless car. Okay, it's called a AAA. I guess you could call it a AAA stock car is what they call it, I think, in the rules that we run. So what it is essentially the only thing that's really Kyosho on this car is it's got the Evo board in it, and that's about it. This car is a PN 2.5 chassis. It's got a PN dual shock front end on it, and it's got a PN rear pod on it, because this one is actually running a 3500 kV brushless setup in it. So it's still on, it's not a LiPo car, it's still on the 4 AAAs, which is 6 volts. And the gearing and stuff on this one is a little bit different. This one has a PN ball diff in it. It's 64 pitch, and we're limited to a 53 spur gear and a 14 tooth pinion. So that just keeps everything kind of even across the board. So the PN chassis is set up different than the box stock, because when this car's sitting down on the wheels, that you can, I'm hoping you guys can see this, the ride height is much lower on this car than what the ride height is on the box stock. And then you have a ton of adjustments that you can do on this PN front end. These PN front ends are a little spendy. The last I looked, they're about $120 for just the front end kit for these. But you can adjust your caster, your camber, ride height, pretty much everything you can think of on the front end of this thing. And then the pod is aluminum, and it's just the round pod, because it is able to accept the round brushless motors. These are a 1410 brushless motor in these. This one is a censored motor, but we run them uncensored because the Evo 03, MR03 boards are sensorless. The 04 boards, if you run an 04 board in this, it's censored, so you have to run a sensor cable and stuff on it. So that's really about the major difference, other than the car is much faster with the brushless setup in it. The PN chassis are excellent chassis. So I haven't run this very much yet, except just getting it set up. I will put some video up on it. I'm running it in 2 weeks. So it should be a lot of fun. And again, I'm running, it's just a different color, but I'm also running the same Jomurema GT01 body on it, because it's just the body I like to run. I have a couple of more parts coming for it that I'm going to change, and I'll do a video on that when I get them. They make a better front bumper for it that I'm going to get, that uses actually it's a carbon fiber front bumper that has the clip for the Jomurema body on it. So I got that coming, and I got some more 3 millimeter offset wheels coming for it, because I want to run it. I want to run essentially the same setup as my box stock to see how it does. I just like the bigger offset on the wheels, because I think that it handles a little bit better. So anyway, I just wanted to get this video up. I am still building stuff, and there'll be more videos coming on different cars. I actually have a mini Z LiPo car on the way, that when it gets here, I'll get it put together and do a video on it. It's it's hard to do videos, build videos on these 128 scale cars because it takes so long to put them together, especially for me because all the parts and everything on them are so small. So it just, it's too time consuming to try to do a build video on it. For me anyway. So anyway, and I also, I wanted to go over some of the updates. So we're gonna start running local at a parking lot here. We're gonna start running the Tamiya Euro trucks. So I have one of those kits coming that I'm gonna have to get built. And I will probably do a build video on it. It's essentially a TT01E with a truck body on it. So hopefully that's bigger and I'll be able to do a video on that and get it up as quick as I can. And I'm still in the Road to 100 speed run challenge with the TT01 that I already have built. I just have to get the time to get out and run it. I need to get it out and do some practice runs with it and see how it's going to do to get a baseline, and then I'm going to start tuning from there. So anyway, we will talk to you guys in the next one, and I hope everybody's having fun doing whatever they're doing in the RC hobby. So we will talk to you guys later.